So, tag match. Lance Malibu and
I don't know,
Ruffy
man.
Silverstein.
Oh, okay, it was Ruffy. I know Ruffy.
With
did.
Ruffy versus the Highlanders. Except Lance Malibu, back in the day, had black sparkle pants with cheetah and zebra, and it looked pretty sweet. I mean, I looked pretty cool.
You always had good gear, I find.
Pretty cool gear. I was in good shape, and I was training. Ruffy was in really good shape, but his gear were basically a black beret, black pants, cargo pants, and a belt, and aside from having a white powdered face, you looked like a French mime.
So he was doing that old Stampede gimmick?
I guess I don't know if it was. He kind of looked like a militia guy, but not fully committed to the militia. It's like the Shield before the Shield.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? Remember Kurgan?
Yeah, no.
He could have been one of those guys, but with a black beret.
The Truth Commission or something like that.
So we were kind of an odd-looking team to start out with. We had our match. We're going in there, and I remember I was working on Russ, who's legit Scottish.
Yeah, no, I used to live with him, yeah.
And I gave him too many punches. He thought I was working him over too much in the corner, right? I was feeding him. So he got frustrated. He's like, oh, fuck. And he starts getting frustrated and swearing in Scottish, and I can't understand him. He's trying to call the spot. I'm like, what are you saying? He's like, oh, fuck. And he's swearing. So we kind of lost where we were, and I ran across the ring, and I nailed Robbie off the apron because I wanted to draw him in. And then essentially, I think Ruffy tagged me and I stayed in. We got legitimately DQ'd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
Like, and that wasn't what was supposed to happen.
Yeah, and they just kind of stopped it there. They gave me a cheap shot and then got their rocket launcher move off, and then we sold, and then went backstage with their tails tucked. And Johnny Ace, he's a straight shooter. He'll tell you exactly what's on his mind, right? Because his, neck's on the line for booking that match, right? And he knew something happened, something stinky happened. So he gave me, actually back in this day, the roster was fully loaded. So you had like Ric Flair was there.
Oh, right,
like,
yeah.
All the Big Show, all the big names that you'd want to be on. Jericho.
Like Shawn Michaels, maybe? Was he?
Yeah, Shawn Michaels was around. Yeah.
Probably had his own private
Triple H, all these guys, like all the who's who of wrestling, right?
Yeah.
So he starts laying into me in front of the whole dressing room. He's like, "You can't walk in here, WWE, with the suit nicer than Ric Flair, and gear sweeter than Chris Jericho,
Really?
and go out there and do that shit."
Oh no.
And I mean, yeah, it's one of those things you live and you learn, right? If it doesn't kill you, then it only makes you stronger.
Yeah, you can't have regrets, and it's still a great experience, man. You got to do all that. You
Yeah.
wrestled you wrestled on WWE in front of a huge crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good.
So you did, you end up working SmackDown, or you at least get to come backstage for it, or they were like, no,
Johnny,
we don't
he was
want
hot. He's like, don't bother coming to SmackDown. Remember, I drove home, a little bit upset. Next morning, my home phone rang, and it was Nova calling from Titan Towers.
Oh, really?
He was all excited. He's like, yeah, how'd things go? What's up? You going to SmackDown today? I was like, Johnny Ace is pissed. He told me not to come. It's not going to work out. He's like, don't worry. Just keep your body in shape. We'll be, and I had a good working relationship, and we'd email and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Then the Chris Benoit scandal happened, and a lot of people from the office got let go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Nova was one of those guys. And you build a relationship, and next thing you know, they're gone, and you're back to square one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I had a couple more things with WWE after that in England and Europe, but.
Really? You went out to England?
Yeah, I was there for a little tour, and we got on, and I was basically stranded in Switzerland. The guy I traveled with, he got booked for WWE. I did not. I called the office from Switzerland, basically begging and pleading, saying, I stuck in Europe. I didn't really have any money, anywhere to go. So like, all right, we'll put you on the list. We'll feed you, give you some money.
Wow, that's so nice.
They're like, but there's a catch. You have to bring, if you're doing these shows around in Europe, you got to bring some talent with you. You got to book a couple guys. So he was, I want you to book 2 guys. Tell me who they are. So I said, no problem. I didn't have a ride, so I knew that one guy had wheels, so I booked him so I could get a ride there. Sam Slam, and the other guy, put him on the spot. I can't think of his name now. Oh man, I'll come back to it. But anyways, the second guy I brought, he ended up getting booked in a triple fatal death match against Umaga.
Seriously?
Yeah, where he basically got tapped out, smashed in a cage, and then into a first blood match. And this was all topped off by Vince McMahon introducing the match and the stipulations. So
Seriously?
yeah, it was
He
pretty
a ring
cool.
announcer?
So this guy ended up getting booked, and we've had a good relationship ever since. So
Wow, man. And then, like, I know I took some time off from wrestling, and I know, like, you weren't around as much as before, and then you started doing all the PWA shows again, and my third match back wrestling was against you, and I love that match, man. That was one of my favorite matches I ever had, and we did, like, a no DQ match, but they were like, you can't use any weapons, because there's, like, another match that's a main event, and they have all the weapons, and we're like, well, what are we gonna do? And we, like, I like almost knocked you out on a drop kick to the floor. You tombstoned me on the floor, like
on the
dude,
floor.
Dude, that was one of my favorite
sometimes
matches.
in wrestling, you're handed. You know, you're dealt your hand, and that's what you have, and you got to make the best with it. And I think we did good. We used the outside of the ring.
Yeah, no, I love that.
As our hardcore premise, and we didn't use a ton of weapons or anything gory. We didn't gig or anything like that.
No. It was.
And we had a pretty good match.
And the crowd reaction was good, and that's what helped get me over. So I'm personally grateful to you because
oh, thanks.
I think we've only touched.
Likewise.
We've only touched. I think we were in a battle royal for ACW in like 2000 at the Cambridge Steelworkers Hall. I still have a tape. It was like you, me, and like Snake Man and like.
I went
Norris
over in that
Phoenix.
battle royal.
I'm pretty sure you did, man. Pretty sure you
I
did.
went over.
So like I never had got to wrestle you, and then I wrestled you, and everybody says good or bad, and until you feel it for yourself and feel how, and I was very impressed, and I would always love to wrestle you again. But what I'm getting to is, so you seemed like you stopped wrestling for a bit, but then you got back, and then you had a hell of a run. You like won the belt, you won the tag team belts, you were one of the featured performers, you were looking in great shape, had some great new gimmicks like outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah, I had some time off. I had some surgery done, and you know, wrestling's probably more addictive than any drug out there because once you start and once you get doing your matches, you just want more. You get a little taste. Just like I still have the dream sometimes of being backstage at WWE and just living the life and feeling on cloud nine. So getting ready for a match, getting the rush of going out there is the same thing. And I just wanted to, you know, guys at work were talking about wrestling and they're watching old videos and they're like, yeah, we'll come out, we'll watch, we'll have a good time. And you know, it is a good time. You go out to the Alpine Club, it's licensed.
The indie shows are great too.
And
so personal.
It is. I went to London WWE and I'm like, any day of the week I'd go to PWA at the Alpine Club with 200 people versus the 4,000 in London.
Yeah,
because it's
they're
more
like part of the
personable.
show.
You can hear the crowd, you can feel the energy.
You can see everything. You're not way up.
Tall
in the
boys are
nosebleed.
$6. You know, what do you want?
But yeah, you did really well for yourself, and like you won the Pure Wrestling Championship, did you not?
I got some notoriety. Who did I beat for Mighty Bruce?
That was an awesome match. That was a really good match.
I mean, that did win me some notoriety. People still talk about that. It wasn't the greatest match or the most technically sound, but
it
was a spectacle and it's entertainment, and you want to entertain, and that's what we tried to do. We tried to make it entertaining.
Dude, who cares about 5 stars when everybody in the crowd's having a good time?
And
And
people are
back,
still
right?
talking about it. You know, people rip me and they're like, "Oh yeah, you lost to Mighty Bruce. You lost. What do you got to say for yourself?" You know, and it's funny, right? People, it gives some, you know, something for some people to talk about. Jeff Black and I had a series of matches for the Pure Violence title. Then.
And you were tag team champions for quite a while with Lenny, or was he managing you or something?
I don't even think I was a tag team champ. I think the.
Or maybe you were in the group with them.
Yeah, the Lilac family basically.
And you guys all had all the belts.
Hoarded the belts forever,
that's right.
somehow, I don't know how. I won the Pure Wrestling Championship at the Rumble.
And you had the Pure Violence, because that's what I wrestled you for, was the Pure Violence.
And then from there we won the tag titles with the Golden Ticket Rumble, so.
Yeah, man, so yeah, you had.
It was a successful run, and I can't say it's due to my skill or my experience. But you know, it all comes down to booking, and someone saw something in me, or they gave me the chance to run with it, and they continue to do so. So you know, I'm grateful for that opportunity.
There's a million wrestlers out there that look like me, and then you look like a wrestler. Like if I saw you in alley, I'd be scared. Like you have a big physique and you look intimidating. And I think part of that is also like in wrestling in the 80s when I watched it, they were all big guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that helps too. But plus with your experience, you've gotten better and better and better, and you just keep improving and learning from your mistakes. But where I'm going with this is like, do you ever have, like I know you got injured recently too, and you haven't been wrestling as frequently. Do you have like a set date, or like you have like, I'm gonna have a retirement match this year, or you just kind of taking it day by day, or?
This particular injury has been nagging me for about a year, and the problem with it is it's causing referral pain in another area of my body. So, you know, all the doctors zigged when they should have zagged. They looked where it was hurting versus as to where it's coming from. So now we think we've got it pegged. What's going on?
Oh my.
It's just a long road to recovery. And this is, I don't know if I'll wrestle again. I probably won't. I might. I don't know. I got to take care of myself first. But I definitely love the business, and recently I had to take some time away. I wasn't at the 12th year anniversary show for PWA.
That's right.
I just needed to take a break. I didn't want to.
It's really hard going when you're not wrestling.
And it's
I find.
dangling in your face, and
Yeah,
you want
you're
to
like, I
hang
should
out.
be out there.
You want to hang out with everyone. The next thing you know, you're kayfabing the curtain, and it's, you know, you just got to draw the line and say, look, you know.
Yeah, it's just like being a drug addict hanging out in a room full of drug users, and you can't do them. It's like, why
I
even bother
suppose.
going, right?
Yeah, all right. I suppose that. I'm getting his balls here. Check this out. Cuba.
No way, that's my
Cuba.
shirt. That's awesome. I'm very honored, man.
Cuba.
And I guess that would be a good time to go into, I call it like the rapid fire round. I just ask you a couple quick questions and then we're done.
Okay.
So what is your favorite match you ever had?
My favorite match I ever had.
Or just one that comes to your head right away. Like, it doesn't have to be the right answer.
My favorite match I ever had, I have to think about it. Obviously, I'd have to say something with Chico Rodriguez. We had a good series of matches, and I was really happy. Or Brent Stump.
Okay, and who do you think taught you the most in wrestling?
The most, trainer-wise, again, it's a toss-up between Carl the Duke and Joey Legend. We spent the same amount of time together.
Carl taught me a lot. I never got to train with Joey
Carl the
Legend,
Duke
but
taught me a lot about having a attitude. Attitude is a lot in this business. And Joey Legend, conditioning and technicality.
yeah, he knows every hold and every way to get
Yeah.
out of it and everything. Okay, who is your favorite wrestler as a fan? Like when you were a kid and stuff.
Oh, for sure. For sure, Roddy Piper.
And now, like, do you still watch wrestling?
Yeah, I have kids now, and I take them to the shows, and it's fun to get back into it and buy the merchandise, some of my AJ Styles gear. So I have to say, like Brock Lesnar, he's legit, and he's a real wrestler, he's a real lifter, he's a real hooker, you know, so.
Yeah, and if you ever did get a shot in WWE now, who would you want to wrestle? Would it be Brock or anybody else?
I don't know if that would make a lot of sense, but
Yeah, it's 5
it
minutes
depends,
Suplex
you know,
City, right?
as you come along in the wrestling business, you learn more about yourself. So I'd have to say, in this point in the game, I think I'm kind of more of a comedy type, funny gimmick thing going on. So I'd probably mesh with someone that's more in that genre as me, doing some funny stuff.
Like an Enzo kind of guy or
Like
something like that?
yeah, Enzo or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to be working John Cena. I don't know. Anyone in the WWE would be an awesome opportunity to work, right?